Hey everyone, this is Josh from before, and I'm here with most of the Supermen from McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line, and I wanted to get them all here in one place and rank them. I will say I don't have any of the animated Superman variants from this line. They just don't really suit my taste preference, so they will be omitted from this. Just assume I'm putting them at the end of the list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my least favorite and work up all the way to number one. And try not to make people mad, but I'm sure there's going to be some controversy, especially once we get down to top three-ish. So let's dive right in and begin with my least favorite, and it's going to be this new Rebirth Superman, and I just did a review on this. If you watched it, you'll know I didn't really come down too hard on this figure. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's really striking. But the red stripe obviously is a big faux pas. And then generally, I just think this is kind of redundant. And there's a better version of this classic look amongst these other guys. Moving along, the next one will be the Red Sun Superman. Again, I don't have a ton of issues with this figure. It was mostly a reused body, which is fine. I just wish they would have maybe taken a couple other liberties and kind of made this closer to maybe a President Superman look. I think it would have just stood out a little bit more and maybe gotten them up a little bit higher on my list. Next is going to be Henry Cavill from the Snyder Cut. I tend to come down kind of hard on the live action figures from this line, and I'll tell you why. They tend to come out just feeling a little bit more static, and I think it's because a lot of times when it's like a live action movie or a video game, they are starting their sculpts from pre-existing digital assets. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what it feels like to me, because it just feels like a very static thing as opposed to something that somebody like really created a cool, unique sculpt for. And I think that takes away from the look, and I think it takes away from the fun factor too. When you start moving these guys around and seeing what they can do with their articulation. But that said, and then that also just kind of prevents them from fitting in with their quote unquote like house style. This is the one figure here that like stands out apart from all the others as like kind of not fitting in, and it's because of the art style in the sculpts. But this is a really rad. This is my favorite individual character from the Snyder Cut wave. Next, I'm gonna have to go with Bizarro. Again, not a bad figure by any stretch. It's got a tremendous face sculpt, I think. And they're using that infected Superman body, which is just a proven great body. It's just really a matter of like, it wasn't able to surpass that infected Superman as far as just like the fun factor and overall execution. And then some of the choices they made, I think he would have looked sharper with the red undies and red boots, a little bit closer to that classic look. But it's a great figure, just couldn't quite eke out some of these others. Then it's going to be Superman Unchained, a really fun kind of Gundam anime looking mech Superman that just is really unique and just cool. The fun factor is huge. These wings that then transform into this like resting cape thing is just so cool, and gives them so much dimension having these back here. Just really fun figure. I kind of want to see him fighting Power Ranger villains. I love it. So here's the top three. I'm sure a lot of people will be mad to even see this one this high on my list, but this Death Metal Superman is just so much fun. And I know he's got some real earned criticism with this face sculpt and not having any paint down here on these great boots. But it's just the fun factor for me, and these things like You know, I don't know. I grew up on Ninja Turtles, so like asymmetrical sculpts are a big thing that I really love. So these arms are just so much fun to me. And then he came with multiple hands that are all very expressive and make for just some great poses. So this is number 3 for me. I know it's kind of bonkers, but I just really think this thing's great. Now this is a really tough decision. Either one of these would be worthy of the number 1 spot in my estimation. But I do have to choose, so I'm going to say number 2 is this original Superman. Wave 1. Wave 1, but I still think they haven't done one quite this sharp for just a classic Supes. Really fun cape. Limited a little bit. He does have a single elbow, and the hands weren't exactly ideal, and maybe he doesn't quite get his head up into that flying, but man, the presence this thing has, the shiny shield, it just looks so good. They still haven't topped it, I think. And that makes Infected Superman number 1, the figure that nobody asked for, but we were all blown away with. This one just turned out so well. It's still to date one of the best figures from this line. It would have to probably be in my top 5 overall figures from the Multiverse line so far. This cape just turned out tremendous. They put some extra color on the paint job here that really makes it pop. This face, outstanding. And like my number 1 pick for the Batman figures, this is just one of those where it just feels like, yeah, this is the kind of thing that McFarlane wanted to do when they got these DC characters. And it's one that nobody but them would have made, and just the execution is as good as it gets. Anyway, let me know your rankings in the comments below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.